By age 23, Amy Winehouse's voice was reshaping music history. Yet behind every groundbreaking hit, her life hid struggles no chart could reveal. What did her childhood and fierce ambition create that fame nearly destroyed? Before addiction changed everything, her rise contained secrets far deeper than headlines ever told. Here is where Amy Winehouse's untold journey really begins. Amy Jade Winehouse was born on September 14, 1983, in the North London suburb of Southgate, where music filled the air of her childhood home. Her father, Mitch, spun records by Frank Sinatra and jazz greats, while her mother, Janice, encouraged Amy's curiosity. When her parents separated in 1993, Amy was just 9. That same year, she enrolled in the Susie Earnshaw Theatre School, already showing a voice and confidence that set her apart from classmates. By age 10, she formed a rap duo called Sweet and Sour with her friend Juliet Ashby, blending playfulness with a sharp ear for rhythm. Amy's schooling was far from ordinary. After Susie Earnshaw, she attended the prestigious Sylvia Young Theatre School, where her teachers noted both her remarkable talent and her rebellious streak. Even as a teenager, Amy was drawn to jazz and soul, performing with the National Youth Jazz Orchestra and absorbing the sounds of Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. Her time at Sylvia Young ended abruptly. She was expelled at 16, but Amy's determination never faded. She briefly attended the Brit School, a launchpad for future stars, but her path was already veering towards something more personal. A demo tape, passed to a talent scout by her friend Tyler James in 1999, caught the attention of 19 management. By 2002, Amy signed with Island Records, earning a modest weekly wage, but gaining the freedom to write and record her own material. In 2003, at just 20 years old, she released her debut album, Frank. The record, a blend of jazz, soul, and hip-hop, earned critical praise and went platinum in the United Kingdom, with tracks like Stronger Than Me, which won the Ivor Novello Award for Best Contemporary Song. Amy's voice, rich, smoky, unmistakable, announced a new kind of British songwriting. The world was beginning to listen. For Amy, music was never just about fame. It was about honesty, craft, and the joy of making something real. In early 2006, Amy Winehouse walked into a Brooklyn studio with Mark Ronson and the Dap Kings, chasing a sound that felt both old and new. She wanted the energy of the 1960s girl groups, big drums, lush strings, and a rawness untouched by digital polish. Ronson set up the sessions on analog tape, filling the room with the echo of tambourines and brass. Amy's voice, recorded live with just 1 or 2 takes, cut straight through the mix. No auto-tune, no hiding. She stood in the middle of it all, singing her heartbreak and defiance into a Neumann U47 microphone, letting the room's natural reverb wrap around her. Salam Remy, working from his Miami living room, shaped the rest of the record with Amy perched on a piano bench, sketching lyrics over rough drum beats. She hummed horn lines into her phone and sent them to musicians across the Atlantic, building tracks layer by layer until they felt alive. There was no chaos in these sessions, just discipline, wit, and a clear vision. Amy approved every sound, from the punch of the drums to the swirl of strings, insisting on a live, unvarnished feel. The result was Back to Black. Released in 2006, it spun stories of love, loss, and rebellion across tracks like Rehab, You Know I'm No Good, and the title song, Back to Black. Each single carried the stamp of its makers: Ronson's retro hooks, Remy's soulful grooves, and Amy's confessional lyrics. The album sounded like nothing else on radio, vintage yet urgent, heartbreak made timeless. In February 2008, Amy Winehouse sat in a London studio, her nerves barely contained, as her name was announced 5 times on the Grammy Awards broadcast. She watched the ceremony by satellite, barred from entering the United States due to visa issues. That night, she swept the major categories: Best New Artist, Record of the Year, Song of the Year for Rehab, Best Pop Vocal Album, and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. No British woman had ever taken home so many Grammys in one evening. The world's music press erupted, hailing her as the new face of soul. Sales of Back to Black soared, making it the UK's best-selling album of 2007 and earning a spot in the Guinness Book of Records. Her voice, smoky and bruised, echoed from radios and nightclubs across continents. Young artists like Adele and Duffy cited her as the reason they believed in their own voices. Fashion magazines filled with images of her beehive and winged eyeliner, the sound she had crafted with Mark Ronson and Salaam Remi, rooted in Motown and girl group nostalgia, now set the tone for a global revival of retro soul and R&B. But with every headline and accolade, expectations grew heavier. The industry, the tabloids, and even her own fans wanted more. More music, more honesty, more of the raw emotion that made her songs unforgettable. The applause never seemed to end, but behind it all, the pressure to deliver again pressed in from every direction. Blake Fielder Civil entered Amy Winehouse's life in 2005. At the height of her creative momentum, their chemistry was instant and intense, but it carried a volatility that soon spilled into every corner of Amy's world. Blake, a video production assistant with a troubled past, became more than just a muse. He was a partner in both love and self-destruction. Friends and family watched as Amy's behavior changed. Nights out in Camden grew longer, and her lyrics grew darker. By the time their on-off relationship turned into a marriage in Miami in May 2007, Amy's struggles with addiction were no longer private. Blake later admitted to introducing her to heroin and crack cocaine, deepening habits that would haunt her for years. Mitch Winehouse, Amy's father, tried to intervene. He pleaded with her to seek help, but Amy resisted. The first attempt at rehab came in 2005, with Blake by her side, but the effort was half-hearted. She left after a few days, immortalizing her refusal in the song Rehab. The press caught wind, and tabloid headlines began to follow her every move. Public incidents multiplied, fights outside clubs, canceled shows, and photos that splashed across front pages. Each episode chipped away at the bright promise of her early career. By 2011, the damage was visible. On June 18th, at Kalemegdan Fortress in Belgrade, Amy stumbled through her set, barely able to sing. The crowd's disappointment echoed the concern of those closest to her. The tour was canceled, and her team urged her to focus on recovery. The collapse in Belgrade was not just a bad night. It was the last time Amy Winehouse would ever perform. Amy's final day began quietly in her Camden flat. On July 22, 2011, her doctor, Christina Romet, visited for a routine check and found nothing alarming. Later that evening, Amy called Romet and admitted she was struggling to stay sober, and she voiced fears about her own future. She had managed a period of abstinence, but in the days before her death, she started drinking again. Empty vodka bottles would later be found in her bedroom. Her bodyguard, Andrew Morris, noticed she seemed intoxicated that night, but it was nothing out of the ordinary for someone used to cycles of recovery and relapse. The next morning, Amy stayed in bed late. Around 3 in the afternoon on July 23, 2011, Morris checked on her again. This time she was unresponsive. Paramedics arrived just before 4 in the afternoon and pronounced her dead at the scene. There were no drugs in her system, only alcohol at a level that proved fatal. The official inquest into Amy Winehouse's death left little room for rumor or doubt. The coroner's report, released after thorough toxicological analysis, found her blood alcohol concentration at 0.416%. That is over 5 times the legal limit for driving in the United Kingdom. This level of intoxication can suppress breathing and cause the body to shut down. No illegal drugs were detected in her system. The coroner ruled the cause as accidental alcohol poisoning, a verdict that clarified earlier speculation about her final hours. In 2013, a second inquest confirmed these findings, reinforcing that her death was not the result of foul play or a deliberate act, but a tragic consequence of relapse after a period of sobriety. The evidence spoke clearly, ending years of uncertainty and rumor with a single clinical conclusion. Today, the Amy Winehouse Foundation funds addiction education and support for young people, a legacy shaped by her struggles and triumphs. As fame and mental health collide more than ever, her story warns and inspires. The cost of ignoring pain is still written in every headline. Thank you for watching.